My girlfriend said, "Ugh, why are you so clingy? I need space to breathe." After I suggested we spend more quality time together, I said, "Breathe easy." Then I gave her so much space, she suffocated. When she realized what she'd lost in all that space, I, 28 male, have been with Jenna, 26, for about 2 years. We'd been living together for the last 8 months in my condo downtown. Things were good, or so I thought. 3 weeks ago, I suggested we have a weekly date night. Nothing crazy, just one evening where we put our phones away and actually connect. Maybe cook together, watch a movie, play board games. You know, couple stuff. Her response? She rolled her eyes so hard I thought they'd fall out. "Ugh, why are you so clingy? I need space to breathe. You're suffocating me with all this quality time nonsense." I'd suggested 1 night a week. 1. "We live together," she continued. "Isn't that enough? God, you're like those needy guys from dating apps who text good morning every day." For context, Jenna works in marketing for a startup. She's always on her phone, always networking, always at some event or happy hour. I work as a software developer, mostly remote. Yeah, I'm home more. But clingy? For wanting to spend time with my girlfriend? "Okay," I said. "Breathe easy." She looked surprised at my calm response but quickly went back to scrolling Instagram. That night, I made a decision. She wanted space. I'd give her exactly what she asked for. Update 1. So I've been giving Jenna all the space she wanted. Here's what that looks like. Stopped asking about her day when she gets home. No more good morning, good night kisses. Apparently that's clingy. Stopped cooking dinner for 2. Just make my own meal. Declined her friend Tori's party invite. You don't need to come to everything with me. Set up my gaming setup in the spare bedroom. Started going to the gym at 6 a.m. instead of evenings when she's home. At first, she seemed thrilled. "See? This is perfect. We can be independent people who happen to live together." But then Thursday happened. She came home around 10 p.m. from another networking event. I was in the spare room playing Baldur's Gate 3 with my headset on. She knocked on the door. "Hey, wanna watch that new Netflix show?" "Oh, I already started it. Figured you needed space, so I didn't wait." Her face did this weird twitch thing. "You watched our show without me?" "It's not our show. That would be codependent, right?" She stomped off. 20 minutes later, I heard her on the phone with her friend. "He's being so weird and distant. I just asked for a little breathing room and now he's acting like I don't exist." "Lady, you literally said I was suffocating you." Friday morning, she tried to initiate sex. I politely declined. "Don't want to be clingy," I said, getting dressed for the gym. The look on her face? Priceless. Update 2. Things have escalated in the most predictable yet hilarious way. Jenna's now complaining that I'm emotionally unavailable and playing games. This from the woman who said I was suffocating her by suggesting weekly date nights. Some highlights from this week. Monday, she accidentally used my expensive coffee beans, the ones I special order, after I specifically started labeling my food. When I didn't react, she used more the next day. Tuesday, suddenly needed my help with her laptop at 11 p.m. It's not working. The power cord wasn't plugged in. When I pointed this out and went back to my room, she accused me of being condescending. Wednesday, her car needed gas. She's been hinting heavily that I should fill it up because that's what boyfriends do. I reminded her that independent people handle their own gas tanks. Thursday, the kicker. She invited her coworker Brad over for dinner. Brad, the one who's been just a friend but comments fire emojis on all her Instagram posts. They cooked together in our kitchen while I meal prepped my lunches for the week. The amount of giggling and accidental touching was nauseating. Clear attempt to make me jealous. "Join us," she called out. "Brad made his famous pasta." "Thanks, but I'm good. Enjoy your space." Brad looked uncomfortable. Jenna looked furious. After he left, she confronted me. "What is your problem? You've been acting like a roommate, not a boyfriend. I'm giving you the space you asked for. Independent people who happen to live together, remember?" "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" She couldn't answer. Just huffed and went to bed. But here's where it gets interesting. I overheard her on the phone with her mom yesterday. "He pays for everything, Mom. The mortgage, utilities, groceries. I've been saving so much money living here. No, I don't contribute." Because he never asked. What do you mean that's not fair? Oh, Jenna. Sweet, entitled Jenna. The wheels are turning, aren't they? Update 3. This week, Jenna went nuclear. Saturday, she staged an intervention with her friends at our condo. I came home from rock climbing to find Tori, Madison, and Becca sitting in my living room like some budget version of The View. "We need to talk about your behavior?" Tori started. "My behavior?" I set down my gym bag. "In my own home? See, this energy right here," Madison chimed in. "Jenna feels like she's walking on eggshells." Jenna asked for space. I gave her space. Now she's upset about having space. I'm confused about what she actually wants. Becca, credit where it's due, actually looked thoughtful. "Jenna, didn't you tell us he was being too clingy?" "That's not the point," Jenna snapped. I excused myself to shower. When I came back, they were gone. But Jenna was rage cleaning the kitchen. "Your friends seem nice," I said, grabbing a protein shake. She slammed a cabinet. "You embarrassed me. By existing in my own home?" That night, she did something that crossed a line. She changed her relationship status on Facebook to "It's complicated" and made a post about when you realize your worth and refuse to settle for less than you deserve. The comments were exactly what you'd expect. "You go, girl. Know your value, queen. He doesn't deserve you." My buddy Jake screenshotted it and sent it to me. "Bro, what's going on?" That's when I made my decision. If she wants to be single so badly, I could help with that. Sunday morning, I woke up early and did some math. Over the last 8 months, rent, she doesn't pay. $1,600 a month equals $12,800. Utilities, she doesn't pay. $200 a month equals $1,600. Groceries, she barely contributes. Tours, $400 per month equals $3,200. Dinners out, I always paid. $300 a month, $2,400, total $20,000. $20,000. I texted my landlord buddy about his vacant studio apartment, available immediately, perfect. Then I went grocery shopping. For one. Update 4. Monday started with Jenna having a meltdown because I didn't buy her favorite oat milk. "You always get it. I bought groceries for myself. Independent people buy their own groceries. This is insane. You're being petty and childish." "I'm being exactly what you asked for. Less clingy, more independent. You have Venmo, right?" Tuesday, she tried a different approach. Came home wearing the dress I once said looked amazing on her. Suggested we go to our restaurant. "I have plans," I said, which was true. I was meeting Jake to look at apartments. "With who?" "Does it matter? You need space, remember?" She spent the entire night slamming doors and cabinets. Real mature. Wednesday was when reality started hitting. Her car registration was due. She'd been counting on me handling it like I did last year. "The registration is due Friday," she mentioned casually over her breakfast that she bought. "Better get on that then." "But you usually..." "Independent people handle their own car registration, Jenna." Her face went red. "Fine, I'll do it myself." Spoiler, she didn't know how. I overheard her calling her dad, frustrated, trying to figure out what forms she needed. But Thursday was beautiful. Brad texted her about grabbing drinks after work. She made sure to mention it loudly while I was making dinner. "Have fun," I said, not looking up from my stir-fry. "You don't care that I'm going out with Brad?" "Why would I? You're an independent woman who needs space. Brad seems nice." She stared at me for a full minute before storming out. She came home at 2 a.m., drunk, crying. Apparently, Brad thought they were on a date. When she told him she had a boyfriend, he said, "Really? Because Jenna, all you do is complain about him. You changed your relationship status. You invited me to dinner at your place. What was I supposed to think?" She tried to crawl into bed with me. I gently suggested she might be more comfortable in the spare room since she needed space to breathe. The wail that came out of her mouth probably woke the neighbors. Update 5. Friday morning, Jenna was waiting for me in the kitchen with coffee. My coffee, that she made with my expensive beans. "We need to talk." "Sure." I sat down, genuinely curious where this would go. "I've been thinking. Maybe I overreacted about the clingy thing. You're not that clingy. Can we just go back to normal?" "What's normal, Jenna? You know, how things were. When I paid for everything, did all the household planning, and you complained I was suffocating you." She flinched. "I didn't mean it like that." "How did you mean it?" I was stressed with work, and you took it out on me, called me clingy for wanting to spend time with you. Made me feel like I was asking for too much by suggesting one date night a week." Tears started. I'm sorry, okay? I messed up. Can we please just move past this? Actually, I've been thinking too. And you're right, we both need space, so I'm moving out. The tears stopped. What? I found a great studio, moving next weekend. You can take over the lease here if you want. Rent $1,600 plus utilities. Her face went white. I can't afford that. Sure you can. You've been saving money for 8 months. No rent, no utilities, barely any groceries. You can't just leave. Why not? You're an independent woman who needs space. I'm giving you all the space you need. This isn't what I wanted. Then what did you want, Jenna? And there it was. The truth she couldn't admit. She wanted me to pay for everything while she lived her best life. She wanted the security of a relationship without any of the emotional investment. She wanted a sponsor, not a partner. She started, then stopped. You're really leaving? Next Saturday. The rest of the day was a series of increasingly desperate texts. Please reconsider. We can work this out. I'll go to couples therapy. You're throwing away 2 years. This is so sudden. You lived here first. That last one made me laugh. Yeah, I did live here first, and I'll keep living here. Just alone. Final update, Saturday came faster than expected. I'd hired movers for the big stuff, but I was packing boxes when Jenna made her last stand. She'd called in reinforcements, her mom. You're going to regret this, her mom said, watching me tape up a box. Jenna's a catch. Do you know how many men would love to be in your position? Then she should have no problem finding one of them to split rent with. Jenna was crying on the couch. Not the manipulative tears from before. Real ones. I don't understand how we got here. I stopped packing. You want to know how we got here? You called me clingy for wanting to spend time with you. You made me feel like my basic relationship needs were too much. And when I gave you what you asked for, you got angry. You can't have it both ways, Jenna. But I love you. No, you love what I do for you. There's a difference. Her mom tried another angle. She's young. She made a mistake. Don't you think you're being a bit harsh? She's 26, not 16. And it wasn't a mistake. It was a pattern. The relationship status change, inviting Brad over, the intervention with her friends, those weren't mistakes. Those were choices. The movers arrived. As they loaded my furniture, Jenna made one last attempt. Please, I'll change. I'll pay half of everything. Al? Jenna, stop. You shouldn't have to change who you are, and neither should I. You want a relationship where you can come and go as you please, where you're not tied down, where you have maximum freedom and minimum responsibility. That's valid. But I want a partner, not a roommate with benefits. We're just not compatible. She watched from the window as I loaded the last box into my car. I left the keys on the counter, along with a note. Lease transfer paperwork is on the table. Landlord needs it by Monday. Good luck. Got a text that night. The apartment feels so empty. I didn't respond. She wanted space to breathe. Now she's got 900 square feet of it. Epilogue. 2 months later. Ran into Brad at a coffee shop last week. Awkward doesn't begin to cover it. Hey man, he said. Sorry about, no worries, you didn't do anything wrong. She still texts me sometimes, says she can't afford her place. Not your problem either. He laughed. Yeah, I figured that out. She asked if I wanted to be roommates. Split the rent. Let me guess? Split unevenly? 70-30. Because she'd be doing me a favor by letting me live in such a nice place. We both laughed. Turns out Jenna's been cycling through her male friends, looking for someone to subsidize her lifestyle. Tori and Madison apparently got tired of her complaining about money while refusing to get a second job or a cheaper apartment. As for me, my studio is small, but it's mine. I cook what I want when I want. I go to the gym without someone accusing me of avoiding them. I have game nights with friends without being called antisocial. And the best part? I met someone at rock climbing. Her name's Keiko. Know what she said when I suggested we have a weekly date night? Only once a week? I was hoping for twice. Funny how the right person makes you realize you were never asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong person. Jenna still posts those inspirational quotes about knowing your worth and never settling. Last I heard, she was subletting a room from some guy she met on Facebook Marketplace. Her Instagram stories are a lot less glamorous these days. Fewer bottomless brunches, more meal prep containers. She wanted space to breathe. She got it. Turns out space is expensive when you're paying for it yourself. Who knew?